minutes, I think it is.
It is. He's been waiting so patiently for his chance in the Titans 17. Okay, this doesn't look good at all, does it?
I knew straight away, like I felt the knee go. I think commentary was saying it was ankle. I don't think anyone else actually realised for the first 20, 30 minutes before they went and seen the video that yeah, it was something. So I was pretty rattled and I felt like no one else really understood that at first. It is an emotional roller coaster, but at the same time, when you got support like I've had, it makes it a whole lot easier.
Well, Boothie, it's great to see you. Obviously, we all know what's happened and we'll talk about that injury, but firstly, how are you going?
I'm well. I'm going good. Starting to move and starting to sort of live life a little bit normal. Now I'm sort of almost off the crutches and yeah, things are good. The sun's out, everything's happening, so it feels good to be out and about and yeah, living a bit of normality again.
Oh, it's great to see you've got such a positive attitude. I guess talk us through the extent of the injury. Well, I mean, we all know how it was sustained. We've all seen the vision and probably something we don't want to see again, but tell us a little bit about the injury that you did sustain.
Yeah, so obviously down in Melbourne, solid contact, and then yeah, the knee just buckled and a few ligaments and some cartilage, and the ACL obviously went, MCL around the knee. So I've had one surgery straight away that fixed up the MCL and a little bit of the meniscus, and at the moment I'm just in the gym trying to get the movement back in the pool, doing a little bit of work and trying to get that range back to get under the knife.
Boothie, with the injury, you know, obviously you've spoken about your support systems at home. You know, can you share some light into what those systems are?
Yeah, number one, and the real trooper of the whole experience has been my partner, Asha. She's been, yeah, amazing. For the first month, I was pretty much, yeah, on my back on the couch, not being able to do much in pain, and she double loaded for that whole month and was so supportive, and yeah, it's been, I've been lucky in that sense that I've had the support at home from family and friends and the club. Like I said, it's been really good, yeah.
One thing that some people might not be aware of is the fact that that night, after your knee had been smashed into 1,000 pieces, you still went to the Titans member event afterwards at the Sporting Globe, which is phenomenal. I guess, why did you do it in your own words? Why were you there, given that you would have been in pain and there would have been some emotions in that?
I still had the green whistle in my pocket, so that that helped. No, I don't know. Like I said before, I don't think everyone realised. I knew from the feeling I had and the way that my knee felt, I knew it was pretty bad, and I don't think the others did at that stage. So when I said, oh, maybe I should just head back to the hotel, they're like, oh, I'll just come for a little bit. And then obviously once they said that, I was happy too. I was feeling okay at that stage. Obviously was in pain and a little bit rattled from understanding that I was going to be out of the game for a while, but it's just part and parcel of what we do. Like, I was happy. I felt well enough to do it, so why not? And it was actually, once I got there chatting to the members down in Melbourne, it was a great turnout and everything. So having conversations with members and the boys were around us, and it ended up being a good time. So it was no effort doing that.
Sadly, you've had a few injuries in your career. What keeps you going? Where do you find that resilience just to get back on the horse and go again?
It's a mad game. It's crazy. I don't know why I love it so much, but I do, and it's what I've always done. So I'm diving into training, whether I'm going to play again or not. It's just what you do, really.
Failure isn't an option.
It's hard to answer that one because it's just the love of the game, I suppose.
Yeah, failure obviously not an option in your life.
No.
I played juniors in this jersey, so I had 3 or 4 years wearing this jersey as a junior. So to be player 174 as a senior, yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm just looking forward to getting out there tomorrow. So thank you.
Yeah, it just breaks my heart to see he's worked so hard to get back to where he is each time to play NRL, and unfortunately it's just no luck of injury, but I love him to death and I can't wait to see him.
Tell us about Nicho Hynes. It's well publicised. Obviously he played the following night for Cronulla and he had the initials AB, which was for yourself. Before we get to that situation, tell us about you and Nicho's relationship.
Yeah, I suppose I think it was 2016. We were both living in Sydney, didn't know each other, had some mutual friends or whatever, but then we both signed at the Cutters, Mackay Cutters up in North Queensland, and yeah, I suppose coming from Sydney, they just paired us up together sort of thing, and we moved in together pretty much straight away up there, and then from there we just bonded, and we've been best mates ever since. And we had some good years up in Mackay, played some good footy. That first year I actually did an ACL the year after, so I didn't play, but he had a really good year, got himself down to the sunny coast in a trial at Melbourne, which obviously the rest is history. He didn't look back from there. And then, so when we both left Mackay, I signed at East, just Q Cup, and Nicho signed at Sunny Coast, obviously both Melbourne feeders. And then he went down on trial, stayed. The following year after my ACL, I played for East, and then literally mirror image. So we both got one game in that first year down in Melbourne. And yeah, I don't know, it's just funny how it's all worked out. Like before we left Mackay, we both said we'll be going to Melbourne clubs, like we'll be in Melbourne together. And it's just, yeah, a funny thing how it all panned out the way it has. And then obviously, yeah, he's just kicked on to do amazing things this year. Yeah, proud as of him. And off the field, on the field, he's done everything to be better and to be the best. And it's just amazing to see that it's actually come off and all his hard work sort of paid off in the end. So
I guess while we're on that topic, how proud as one of his close mates were you to see him win the Dally M as being judged the player of the year in the NRL?
It's crazy, really. It's such a big achievement. And like I spoke to him beforehand, he didn't think he was going to get it. I sort of had a weird feeling that he would, and I think a lot of people, some were either definitely think he was going to get it, some didn't. And then, I don't know, to watch it unfold on the night, and he's obviously spoke really well, and he's just a humble man like that. So to see him up there getting the credit that he deserves is, yeah, it was cool to watch.
And something too, he won the Probe and Summons Award for the recognition and spotlight he put on mental health after the sad passing of Paul Green. Obviously just encouraging that every day should be Are You OK Day. That's something that you've played a massive part in his journey as well, but you know, his advocation for mental health must be pretty inspiring for yourself, given the challenges you faced on the footy field.
Yeah, for sure. Like, the thing about that was that's all genuine. Like, that's just him speaking his mind. And to see, I've seen firsthand where Nicho was when we first sort of became mates, and to see his progression in life has been pretty cool. And to see him take on that sort of role model sort of role in the community, and he speaks about that openly all the time, and is a big promoter of men's mental health, or mental health in general, which is a subject that needs to be spoken about more. It needs to be the focus of a lot of people's mind. Yeah, that's all just genuine Nicho talking about things that he's passionate about. And yeah, he, like I said before, he got the recognition the other night for that, and for his footy side, which, yeah, he very much deserves. So it's just cool to see it's all coming to light, because he's been like that for a long time.
Circling back to that moment that he obviously dedicated his game against the Dragons to yourself after your injury, do you remember where you were, and if you were watching the game, did you pick up that he had your initials on his wrist, and obviously then the post-match dedication that and shout out that he gave you?
Yeah, I was just at home. Me and my partner were watching the game, and then I didn't notice, and then someone must have picked it up on Instagram, because I got a couple of messages and it was a screenshot of his arm, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then we're just watching the post-match, and I think that was, yeah, like the night after. I was just at home, and obviously it'd been a whirlwind getting back from Melbourne and everything. I got a bit emotional when he said it, because it obviously hit home, and then on the back of that, a bunch of other people reached out, giving me support, and it was a cool moment. And it was just me and my partner at home. It was like, yeah, it was nice, and just gave me some reassurance that it's going to be sweet. And yeah, like I said before, that's just Nicho being genuine Nicho. Like, that's just how he is, and he's a caring man. And yeah, I appreciated it, because yeah, it was a pretty weird couple of days, but yeah, that was a cool moment to wrap it up. So.